To close out today's annual opening of schools convocation, please welcome our new Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Anna Stubblefield, and her message of rebound, reimagine, and renew.
Good morning. I am Dr. Anna Stubblefield, your Superintendent of Schools for KCKPS. As you can see, I'm on a plane right now after attending my son's wedding ceremony. I really wanted to be with you in person today, but as many of you know, you don't get a second chance to experience and celebrate moments like this with your children and family. When I looked at the district's calendar and realized that our convocation was on the day I returned from my son's wedding, my heart immediately sank. We all know that a part of life is making tough decisions. Thanks to today's technology, I'm still able to be with all of you on this important day to kick off the new school year officially. Like my son's transition into a new chapter in his life, we too are transitioning together into a new school year. First, a little bit about who I am and where I'm from. Some of you know me and know my story, and others have heard several variations of who I am and where I'm from. I'm married with kids. My husband and I are both educators. We met in our first year of teaching.
Good morning, everyone. We have made surprisingly good time coming into Kansas City this morning, and we will be landing shortly. If you take a look out of the right side of the plane, you'll see Wyandotte High School, where Kansas City, Kansas Public Schools are currently having their convocation to kick off the new school year.
Wow. Let me give you some advice. Never, ever, ever jump from a plane with a dress and heels on. I am really excited to be here this morning. Honestly, I did not think I was going to make it, but last minute, earlier last week, we were able to get on an earlier flight, and I'm keenly aware that this was supposed to end at 11. I still will share my vision for the district, but I also am very conscious about your time and valuing your time. But I do want to share a little bit about myself. As I was saying in the video, I just got back from Hawaii about 1 o'clock this morning. My oldest son got married, and his beautiful wife is from Hawaii, and during the middle of the pandemic, they both got jobs as chiropractors in Hawaii. And when they planned their wedding, they obviously didn't consult with my husband and myself because we're both educators, and we know August is the worst time to plan any sort of travel. But they are adults, and we were there for them. So I thank you and for working with me on that. I have two other children. My middle son, Desmond, he's in his last year of college. He's studying pediatric nursing and youth ministry. And my youngest son, Grant, will be a junior in high school this year. So, before I became a wife, and a mother, I was a daughter, I am a daughter, sister, friend, cousin, and confidant to many. And I have connections to so many people in Kansas City, Kansas Public Schools. So if someone tell you that they're my cousin, sister, friend, sorority sister, anything, they probably are telling you the truth. And I just want to be transparent about all of the connections and relationships that I have, but also reassure you that my decision making will be based around what's best for our students and what will help us to move forward. So I just want to be clear about that. I am related to lots of people, but I also am student focused and student centered. I just want to give you quickly how I'm connected to Wyandotte County and Kansas City, Kansas Public Schools. I was unofficially or officially adopted by the DOT in around 1990 when my high school basketball coach took me in to her family and introduced me to all things DOT. She is a graduate of F.L. Slago High School, and if you meet anyone who graduated from any Kansas City, Kansas school from the early 70s to, I don't know, the present, they will tell you how loud and proud they are to be from whatever high school they're in. And that's the kind of pride we want to instill in our students today. This last school year was undoubtedly very challenging for us all, but it also created an opportunity for us to rethink how school can look for our students. Prior to the pandemic, for so many of our students, what was happening in the classroom, and is no one's fault, was not working for all of our students. And we were forced last year to be adaptive, to be flexible, and to meet the needs of our students and families in the moment. And that's where this year's theme is coming from. So I want to transition here into, and I am going to be cognizant of the time, but what it means to me for us to rebound, reimagine, and renew. So as I stated previously, I do want to just quickly share with you what our focus will be as we transition back into in-person learning for our students. We're all aware of the work ahead of us this academic year to meet the social, emotional, and mental health needs of our students, our staff, and our families. We have to reestablish the high expectations for student achievement and to address the inequities in our systems that create barriers for our students and their families. So how do we rebound from what we experienced last year? We have to make progress towards our goals. Yes, I am the superintendent, but I'm asking you because collectively it will take all of us to make this happen. I can't do this work alone, and it's not about me. It's about the collective effort of all of us to achieve the expectations for our students as we ponder the question. I want you to reimagine what school looks like for our students. Our students, like myself, will enter the classroom with barriers. But those barriers, we have to figure out how do we engage them, motivate them, and encourage them to show up every day to do their very best. I know that this is obtainable through my 23 years of experience in education and my own personal experience of growing up in similar circumstances of several of our students. This year, academically, we'll focus on high quality Tier 1 instruction, and while simultaneously meeting the social and emotional needs of all of our students. This is not an or, it's an and. We'll focus on high quality Tier 1 instruction while meeting the social, emotional, and mental health needs of our students. The well-being is not limited to our students. It goes for each and every one of you as well. You must take care of yourselves in order to be the best for our students. It's important that we all practice self-care and work-life balance. Whatever that looks like for you, I want you to make sure that you're taking care of yourselves in order for us to meet the needs of our students. One of the things that we must do is to figure out where we are as a system. We have to diagnose systemically where we are both academically and operationally. So two of the things that we're doing, and I just want to be clear around this is not about people at this point, evaluating people. This is really about evaluating our systems. So we'll have a comprehensive evaluation of all of our academics and our operations. And this will include surveys, interviews, conversations, focus groups, and we want people to be honest and transparent and authentic around it, because if we don't know where we are, we definitely can't meet our goals. And so this would allow us to create an accountability system so you can hold me accountable and we can hold one another accountable. But this is not about people. This is about looking at our system to meet the needs of our students and our families. I'm looking forward to working with all the partnerships of those who spoke before me this morning. I'm looking forward to establishing a culture where we can build upon the achievements and accomplishments that make so many of the citizens of Kansas City, Kansas so proud. I am also joining a great team of school administrators, teachers, school support staff, librarians, custodians, food service workers, social workers, bus drivers, and anyone that I neglected to mention. I'm looking forward to joining the team with you as well. While a new year creates opportunities for new beginnings, newness alone, however, cannot produce transformation. We ourselves must get caught up in the rebirth that the new school year brings. So in closing, I want to first thank Edwin and his team. I'm going to tell you a quick story. They've done an amazing job of putting this together this morning. When I found out I was coming, all of this and more was recorded, and I was like, well, Edwin, if I'm there, I should say something. And he was like, okay. But he made it happen with his team, and I'm grateful for that team and grateful for each one of you. But I also want to take the time to thank Adrian Robertson, the mayor and CEO of the Unified Wyandotte County Government, David Alvey. Thank you so much for your partnership in our joint efforts to provide our young people with access to programs and services to promote their social and emotional mental health. I also, Dominic, look forward to working with you to ensure that we have a safe and welcoming environment for all of our staff. Once again, I want to thank the area of Chamber of Commerce, KCK Chamber, Hispanic Chamber, and Heartland Black Chamber for their remarks and support as we kick off the school year. To our keynote speaker, Mr. Morris Morrison, thank you for the inspiring message today, and thank you for sharing your story. Our very own board president, Randy Lopez, and all of our board members, Ms. Wanda Page, Ms. Yolanda Clark, Ms. Maxine Drew, Ms. Janie Humphreys, Dr. Valdenia Wynn, and Dr. Stacy Yeager. Thank you for choosing me and entrusting me to lead the district to meet the challenges that we are set before us. Thank you to Wyandotte High School, Central Middle School, and Mark Twain for joining us here in person. And of course, all of you watching live around the district, thank you. It's an honor and privilege to be your superintendent, and together we will be strong through this process. Thank you.